With Dolly, besides how disrespectful he's being, is it's the spreading of misinformation. I cannot tell you how many things I've heard him say that has infiltrated groups, that has gone its way to other channels, and people are repeating it as fact. And I know the originating source is Dolly, and I feel like he has a responsibility, as we all do as creators of true crime, to try to make sure to report based on facts. And if you're going to speculate, if you're going to say, hey, this is what I heard, make sure your audience knows that. But you should not be repeating. I have heard so much misinformation come from him.
Yeah,
it's not right.
You guys have heard the other lady there, I won't say her name, but saying over and over and over, he was beat for months. He was abused for months. Where's your proof? Where are you getting this?
And I take offense to saying Dolly's true crime. He does not do any research. He's just a talk show. Like, let's be real. He does no research. He doesn't do any background. He doesn't read any articles. He is not true crime.
Oh, but if you're going by, because I had one of his mods in my chat last night, and she's like, if it wasn't for, these two creators, and they are creating stuff, drama, but if it wasn't for them, we would have nothing to report on in this case. And I got really offended because I was like, I do not get any of my research, my facts at all from them. If you want to see the shit show that's going on, you turn them on. But there are people who genuinely believe that. Thank you for being there. And again, I'm not against them being boots on the ground. I'm not even against them doing live coverage, interviewing. It's the way they are conducting themselves. It's the spreading of misinformation. It's trying to incite violence, because I have seen Dolly try to incite violence with the neighbor, with the biker dude. It's saying that I wish a kid goes missing in Hawaii.
He pissed me off with the 87-year-old man yesterday about that sign. And the guy was out there just shaking, talking to the cops. You could see his hands were just quivering, like he was either upset or angry. He wasn't done. He ripped the sign up out of his yard and flung the sign and threw it, and Dolly went and picked it up.
They are blasting newborns screaming and crying. They are blasting lullabies. Do not tell me they are out there for them. Like for Quinn, they're out there for them. They're out there for themselves.
Views, because the chats are full, because people love a train wreck.
Yeah.
They are just frauds. You can't say that they gave an interview because of you. Do you think the news just showed up, and with 12 seconds, hey, do you want to go on the news? Well, yes, because these people are stressing me out. No, that's not how the news works. They didn't go on the news because of you at all. Your pressure campaigns are garbage. The people out in that street are insane. They keep getting arrested. You're playing baby music. How dare you?
They're monetizing. They're monetizing a dead child, like literally the ghost of a dead child. Now you're claiming the ghost is there because of reflection from the blue.
Well, can you imagine children on that street who live there, animals, with that kind, elderly people, like people who aren't maybe in the best health, and how much stress that is causing them? Like, not everybody is guilty of this. There are many victims in this situation, and I understand people are angry, but like, if I had a child living on that street, I'd be genuinely concerned. It's an escalating situation building. That tension is building. If I had a child living on that street, I'd be genuinely concerned. It's an escalating situation building. That tension is building.
They're screaming the words baby killer.
Right.
So if the children don't know what is going on, that's all they're hearing during the day.
He's not only screaming that, he also thinks baby killers are hot. And
not only that, though, listen, one of the little boys, and it's on video, it's on Mary's Live or whatever, he said, why is that lady out there fake crying?
Oh my God.
Now, a child heard that in conversation, and children are sponges.
Yep.
And I mean, if you are so sincere, spell his fucking name right.
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you.
They're protesting for justice, but you can't spell his fucking name right.
Because there's no time, because you got to go live and make
sure that's
people
not
are watching you.
He can't spell. He has a second grade education. He has no ability to write.
There's a bunch of them. Yeah, there's a bunch of them out there. The guy with the mask, name spelled wrong. The lady with the pink sign, name spelled wrong. People trying to say his name, misspelling it in the friggin' title. Like, you don't even know what you're doing.
You're out there for him. Make sure you have his name spelled right.
You would think they would have like spell check on their phone at least, like just Google the name and spell check it. But
well, you know what? If he wrote the name correct enough times, his phone would have automatically spelled it the correct way. It shows you that he's not even ever spelling his name correctly.
No, because he doesn't care. They don't.
Well, no, and Heels has screenshots of it as his titles. You can even go back and look. I still think to this day he has his name spelled and the title's wrong.
What?
Cornelia Jones, I can't get you up here. It says device is not connected, and it keeps popping on and off. Maybe you need to go up and to the 3 dots in the corner and hit open Chrome. Maybe that's
and
one of the things that'll help.
Yeah, and that Court TV interview was a joke. That guy had no clue what he was talking about. He's like, "Oh, you go around, you're a child out, bro." He just said he goes around for vacation, basically. He was hoping for a missing kid would be in Hawaii. You know, I mean, like, and he says, "Well, and he says, and then like, guys, I woke up and I saw news." No, bro, we know from it's a mood that you do search history, you check the Google trending, and you check for which is the most trending missing kid, and then you start making videos about it. We know that. We've heard tests from other channels. That's what you do. The next thing is they cut out the clip when they confronted those people. They cut out the clip when the old guy says, "Oh, you almost knocked over the baby in the carriage, you guys." I mean, like, there was so many, and then the guy actually has the audacity of the Court TV thing to actually recommend the guy's channel. Like,
right.
Bro, what?
I mean, there was a case where Dolly was putting up signs from Monkey Michael Vaughn, and he had his QR code and his YouTube channel on the signs. Or was that Cody Bigsby's case? One or the other. It just happened not very long ago, where he's advertising his YouTube channel on the missing flyers that he's hanging up. Now, thank you for hanging them up. And I think at the core of Betty and Dolly, they're humans. They probably do care about missing babies. Of course, who doesn't? But to handle it this way and know that people are watching you, and then you're coming back at us saying, "Oh, well, it's because you're jealous," or
I'm not jealous
chasing Hughes, which is me, should be out here doing these stories. Do you know how many stories Gray Hughes covers and how many things he's helped?
Yeah, Gray Hughes is great. I think it's great. People don't like his personality. I kind of like a guy that says "fuck you" to you if he thinks you're an idiot.
He has good content, whether you
like. I appreciate people who aren't snakes. They're just upfront. They say, "I don't like you. I like you," and that's and he speaks back. So people might not like someone that says "I don't like you" to your face. I get that, but like, I appreciate the honesty.
At least he doesn't pretend.
Yeah, like, I appreciate the honesty.
At least he doesn't pretend.
Yeah.
And he won't take the misinformation and just go along for a good show. He won't, "Oh, yeah, maybe you're right." Gray doesn't do that. He's like, "No, that's ludicrous and you're an idiot and it's not true."
Yeah.
And he means it because he does care. The amount of money this man has donated.
Yeah, he donates.
The cold case,
$110,000
DNA projects.
I think $110,000 or something.
Since 2020. Yeah. He donates over 50% of what he makes. And he spends so much time researching and presenting cases, cold cases, where the families are still suffering and still waiting. He actually cares.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a whole different.
And I'm more cynical, honestly. I think they do it because it's the easiest way for them to make money. Like, Dolly would have to work back in 7-Eleven, so he'd make like $11 an hour. So this is a lifestyle, and he sees these kids as commodities. And I think Betty does it. She actually might do some research in a case, but I think she realizes that, like, she can make more money doing this than actually doing actual hard work and being like ethical. That's my opinion.
And I don't know. I think that they would understand that we are out here. We want good true crime creators. If they were stellar people who went out there and put a pressure campaign on, and they were conducting themselves reasonably, and we'd be rooting for them.
Yeah.
Go, please.
Look at CPS. Why don't you go down? Like, when Area Sellers, when they closed down the search, when Area Sellers was being looked for, they stopped searching for her for 5 days. And then what they did, the community got together and go to CPS and actually protested. They did a bunch of peaceful protests at the places of power. You speak truth to power. You go to places where you can effectuate change, not in front of some residential house. Nothing's going to change by doing that. You go to CPS. You go to the mayor's office. You go to the police station. You don't stand in front of a person's house. That's not protesting. That's just being like hooligans.
Well, and let's be real.
It's just being like hooligans.
Well, and let's be real. If what you're doing is working, how the heck did Brian Laundrie slither out of that house, right? You were there. You had eyes on him, and he managed to get out.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable what is happening. And, another thing that proves to you, are you covering obscure cases in your own cities and states that have been 5 and 6 years? Are you reaching out to the parents with resources? Are you talking to them about ways that you can help them fundraise for a private investigator? Are you looking into all of those things? Because we never see that on your channel. We see the most trending, hottest cases every single time. And that says that there's some other motive here other than you really caring. Because I could name 20 cases right now that you could probably really help with your bullhorns and your yelling, because there's been no justice.
I mean, he talks about the Cody case, and it's like, that was another part of the interview I disagreed with the whole thing. It's like, well, the father's in jail for 20 charges of child endangerment, and he doesn't realize, isn't Quentin adopted by the grandmother? So how would you charge the mother with child endangerment when she doesn't have custody of the kid and she has to pay child support to the grandmother? So the grandmother would be sent to jail.
Right.
But he doesn't even do the basic Google search of an article to find out who had custody of the kid when he makes these stupid statements. Even the Court TV person didn't do the interview and figure that out. And
he didn't even know that it was the boyfriend who was the one who texted the babysitter. Like, come on. The first
even the articles, they have inaccurate information. It's actually scary.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But you didn't even know that? You're Court TV. You don't have researchers? What are you doing? And then this is what you choose to put on? It's a joke. What are you doing?
And it's not even like the larger ones. It's like I don't even know why they picked Dolly. Like, if you're gonna pick someone for the true crime community, that's actually, if you want to pick someone, I'd probably pick like Gray. Would probably be someone I'd invite onto the channel. Deuteron, I saw his videos. He does interviews with people.
Yeah, he's been covering it.
Yeah, I mean, like those people, even like if you want just the biggest content creator, you got 10 to life. I know people have disagreement. Or if you want like Zav, which obviously I have disagreements with our Kylie Rodney case. Yeah, but you know what I mean? I'm saying, like, if you want like the biggest person around that has like 80 or 100,000, you do that.
Yeah, and you can become 100 to 80,000 quickly.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, why
just do it? That doesn't make you any better. If you're covering a story night and day and literally looking at, I think I see a piece of hair.
Yeah.
That allegedly be the murderer.
And when
people are like, yes, I believe you. Before you know it, you've got 80,000.
Right. Yeah. And before I say, I just want to complete my. And the reason why I use them as an example, I'm saying, like, why would you pick Dolly? You could have picked like any other people in the community that you could. If you wanted numbers, you could have picked them. If you wanted someone that actually did investigations, you could have picked them. Why pick Dolly, who does no investigations, and he has like a 25K channel, which is honestly minuscule in comparison to many other channels on YouTube.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, he was out there and available, so and he's on the ground getting information. So, I mean, I guess I get that.
And I wonder if they paid him for the usage of his clip.
I think you need to. Like, there was an interview done where Don Wells told a channel on here that he had lost custody of the boys, or they had taken the boys away, and that was recorded. So it was recorded, and then all of a sudden media had it. And in order for them to have it, they had to mention where they got it, which was the person's channel.
That solves the mystery. Yeah, that solves the mystery of why Dolly got on that Court TV thing. Betty must be angry then. She's like, damn it, I could have been on Court TV.
Yeah, you got to make an agreement, and
what's going on. And I'm like, well, we wouldn't know what the house looks like. Like, no credible information is coming from them.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't done any sort of like, you would think like you would go down there and you wouldn't set up this whole riot thing. You would actually go to the neighbors and interview the neighbors, and you would say, hey, what did you see when you're here? And you'd be respectful to the neighbors, and then you would create like content like that. And then that would be reporting. That would be like you actually doing something.
Right.
You would go down to CPS and you would say, hey, can we have a recorded interview with you? Why was this, and this done? And then you go down to maybe the actual, police station, say, hey, can we have an interview with an officer about this case? Come on. That would be reporting. That would be you doing your job. But standing in front of the house while you have a Ninja Turtle mask on and with a sign saying, marry me, Lolani, that's not doing your job.
Right. And all the people who are sending them, because they don't have to do anything, they're being sent the meals, coffee, whatever they want. How about send it down to the workers who are literally sifting through a landfill looking for Quinn? Go send them some water and food.
There you go.
Yeah. Just let Chasing Truth, who's about to speak.
If there was no enemy in this, if there was no Lolani or Billy Joe, if nobody knew what happened, he walked out of the house, do you think they'd be down there searching? No. There has to be an enemy. Don Wells.
Yeah.
Wells. Brian Laundrie.
Yeah.
Lolani, Quentin. I mean, I'd like to really know if this case was just that the door was open and the baby left. Nothing else.
I mean, what do y'all think?
I mean, like, there's opinions. I mean, like, whenever I say, like, my opinions, I always say I'm putting my tinfoil hat on, because that's what basically it is. So let me put my tinfoil hat on. I'm like 60%. And the only reason why I'm 60% is basically because she's the last person that's seen the kid, and there's the FBI.
Sure.
But the problem is that I believe the FBI purposely, they said their person of interest way too early, and that was all due to social media. Basically, when the grandmother revealed it, like the whole thing, it pressured the cops to make their statement, and I think that compromised the entire investigation. And I think
meant that the secret sauce for social media for these cases is you must have someone to hate. You have to have someone.
Yeah.
So my question is, if there was no Lolani being suspicious, stellar mother, best mother you ever seen, Billy Joe is the most outstanding grandmother that ever was, and a little boy named Quentin went missing, would these people still be down there?
Nope.
No. There are plenty of cases, and that's why I said if Dolly was only getting 50 people in the chat, do you guys really think he would be sitting there outraged? No, I have to be here until she gets arrested. No. If he saw those numbers,
I mean, I've talked to Don Wells. I've never released any of that. I didn't even record it. So
you're talking to somebody she's an OG around here.